Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Completionist. For this episode, guys, it is not only video games that I actually complete, but I also complete video game collections as well. And today is a very special day because I have now officially collected all the North American anime style games for the Panasonic 3D0. Now, for the Panasonic 3DO, the system had a very short lifespan, and unfortunately not a lot of games were released for that system. So there are only a total of 6 anime-style games that were lucky enough to have a North American release that you have to collect for this system. Now, I've actually been collecting for this system for about a period of 2 years. Now, all of the games that you see before me, I never got any deals on any of them, and I never really found any of them out in the wild. All the games were literally found on eBay, and I pretty much paid the usual market value for what these games actually dictate. But with regards to collecting the anime style games for each specific console, a couple of years ago, I finished collecting for the Sega Saturn. I decided to go after the more obscure systems first, just because the games are actually getting much harder to find. With regards to the Panasonic 3DO, my history with the 3DO is pretty much non-existent. When it was first released in 1993, it was known for being a system that was really, really expensive. I think it cost around $700 if you wanted to buy it brand new. And in the small community that I grew up in, I don't know of anybody that actually owned a 3DO, and I can't even recall ever seeing 3DO games actually for sale in my community or really anywhere in the province, especially when I was growing up. So anyway, guys, what I wanted to do is that, if you are collecting for the 3DO and if you wanted to know the 6 anime style games that you need to collect for that system, I just wanted to take the time to show you what each of those games are. Now, I will warn you, to find the games, especially the anime style games, they are going to be pretty hard to find, especially if you're looking for them complete in box, with the game and the manual and everything else. Now, for all these games, I didn't find any of them out in the wild. I pretty much bought all of them from eBay for pretty much a full market value, but I'm perfectly okay with that, because if you know my video game collecting rules, I'm perfectly fine with paying for a video game for what it's truly worth. So anyway, guys, let me show you what the North American anime style games are for that system, if you do want to own the anime style games that were lucky enough to have a North American release. So the first game is literally a game that has been on a lot of different consoles, and I'm actually happy to have the 3DO version of this game, and that's the original Bust-A-Move. I'm actually a really big fan of this series. I have some of the other Bust-A-Move sequels, on the Sega Saturn. The second game is another game that has seen several releases, on many different systems, like the Sega Game Gear and the Super Nintendo and the Sega CD and stuff like that, and that's the original Samurai Showdown. As far as I know, this game is a 3DO exclusive. I don't know if it has been released on any other console, but I'm happy to have a truly anime-style game for the Panasonic 3DO, and that is Strawl. Initially, when I started doing my checklists for the Panasonic 3DO, I thought there was only 5 anime-style games for that system, but thanks to a really good YouTube friend of mine by the name of John, who's also known as the Comeback Kid on YouTube, he actually let me know one of the games I actually missed on my checklist. So thankfully there was a copy of it floating around on eBay, and I actually decided to get it, which is the Guardian War. So thanks, John, for helping me find this title and adding it to my collection. I really greatly appreciate it. The next game, guys, is Actually, the hardest game for me to find with regards to finding a complete in box version. I spent several months trying to find a complete version of this game, and it's not even the rarest 3DO game available, and that game is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Now, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the Panasonic 3DO is known as probably the closest arcade port to the Street Fighter 2 franchise, and as far as I know, it's the first game that actually has Akuma in it. Now, watching a video from Chargeback Forward, there's actually two box variants of this game. You have the main one, which is the one that I have right now, but there's also a Canadian box variant. That's insanely hard to find, and you know, despite me being a video game collector, I'm not that specific when it comes to the different box variants. As long as I have a copy of the game complete in box and in pretty good condition, that's all I really care about. So I'm happy to finally have a copy of this, even though it really took me a long time to find it. And the final game, guys, is literally the only JRPG that was lucky enough to be released in North America for the Panasonic 3DO, and because of that, it is literally one of the rarest games for that system. And that game is Lucian's Quest. Now, this game doesn't come up on eBay very often, and usually when it does, it's very expensive. So I had to save up a lot of money to actually get this game complete in box. Now, I actually have a really good friend on YouTube. He's one of the guys from Chargeback Forward, Big Mike. You know, he always likes to brag about that he actually owns 2 copies of this. So I always like to write him a little message just to give him a little friendly reminder that you know, he's not the only person who actually owns a copy of this. But you know, I'm actually excited to really find time to give this game a try, because you know, for the only JRPG that was lucky enough to have a North American release, I'm very excited to see how good this game actually is, because I haven't seen much on YouTube, you know, with regards to gameplay, and you know, I would really love to fully complete this game to 100%. So pretty much all in due time. So anyway, guys, that takes care of all the games that you need to collect in order to own all the anime style games that were lucky enough to have a North American release for the Panasonic 3DO. Now, thankfully, there aren't a lot of games to collect for it, but just because 3DO games, especially complete in box, are very hard to find, especially out in the wild, and you know, they're usually overpriced when it comes to eBay. You may have a hard time trying to find some of them, but I'm actually pretty happy. You know, I managed to knock one of the more obscure systems off my collecting list, because now with this collection finished and completed, now I don't really need to collect any more games for the Panasonic 3DO. But if you guys feel that there has been an anime style game for the Panasonic 3DO that I may have missed, by all means let me know, because I don't consider a game collection finished unless I have all the anime style games for that specific console. So anyway, guys, I'm actually getting close to finishing the 2 other game collections. I hope to have those videos up you know, over Christmas. I'm only 1 game away from finishing off my North American anime style Sega Dreamcast collection, and I'm only 7 games away from finishing off my North American Sega CD collection. So basically look forward to those videos hopefully around Christmas time. But anyway, guys, I sincerely hope that you enjoyed this video. So as always, take care, and I wish you nothing but the best. Later.